just a couple of moments and we'll get that up. All right, I think we're ready to go.
Okay. The August 3rd, 2023 City of Charleston Human Resources Committee is now called to order. Let's take a moment of silence.
Okay.
Amen. And we'll move right into the remainder of the agenda. Do I hear an approval for the July 13th, 2023 minutes?
So moved.
Do I hear a second? Moved and properly second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Old business, staffing update. I'll turn it over to you, Heather. You're doing it?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna pull up my slide and then let me know when you can see this. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So,
There is some noise in the background. It's probably CNN.
yes, Mr. Chairman, I hear it on my end too. I'm not sure if someone has a TV or maybe it's somebody else in the office.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
These are our sworn staffing levels, and we are trying something a little bit different and trying to give an easier way on reporting these. So we've carved out the sworn staffing levels, and then I'll show you a slide for the non-sworn that gives a little bit more detail by department. And this is mainly because of the way that we report FTEs on the sworn side of things. There's not a lot of fluctuation with seasonal positions, temp positions, et cetera. So it's a little bit more clear cut here. But on the FD side there in red, you'll see they're at 99% staffing. That's up from the last meeting when they gained the 37 new recruits. And that only leaves them 2 positions until they're 100% staffed. So, so that is definitely moved in the right direction. With the police department, they're at 89% staff, so no real change from the last meeting there. They've got 53 vacant FTEs, and there are 3 more since the last month, but because of the size of their department, that did not cause a change in the percentage there. On the non-sworn side of things, this is where we're trying to give you a little bit more detail and thought it might be more meaningful than having them show on that other slide. This just gives you a list by department and shows these are just full-time and part-time positions. So we've carved out seasonal because we would expect those people to be leaving those positions. This shows you whether that department has gained or lost employees since the last meeting. So and then the total number there on the right is the vacant full or part-time positions. Wanted to note that some of these are filled by agency temps. For instance, at BFRC, while they've gained 2 employees there, they've got 22 vacancies. One of those vacancies is filled by a position, a sales clerk at Angel Oak. And then at the Parks Department, there are 36 vacancies, but 5 of those are filled by agency temps, groundskeepers. And then similarly in stormwater, you'll notice there's no change since the last meeting, but 27 of those vacancies are filled by, 5 of those 27 vacancies are filled by employees working on the ditch crews. Leaving just 22 openings there. So just wanted to make sure that we accounted for those, a true representation of what could be filled. So on the city non-sworn side, the change since the last meeting has been an overall increase in employees by 5. Any questions on that slide?
Yeah, on the public services side,
Sure.
so they still have 32 vacancies and
They do.
are,
They've gained 5 employees. They've got 32 vacancies. They do have 4 agency temps, but they're filling temporary roles, helping to complete a CART audit right now. So I didn't call those out because they wouldn't be accounting for the 32 openings.
are they doing any contracting out of services?
They are for that CART audit, but those are temp roles. So
Okay.
not for any of the FTE roles.
Okay.
Actually, Lindsay, are you on?
I am.
Do we have any agency temps on the street sweeping?
Not at this time. And Matt Altop and I are working on revising what that all looks like to try to provide some more full-time roles in that role that are floaters and then second shift. So right now there are no temps in that division.
But we have historically had some temps filling those roles.
Okay.
That is correct.
Do we ever do a comparison of vacancy, for instance, using public services, the complaint level from our customers? It would just be interesting to see if there's a correlation between vacancies and in all areas and the level of complaints. Our requests, maybe complaints a bad word, perhaps a request for additional services. It would just be interesting to see.
We could touch base with Brian and
Yes.
And get some data out of the calls coming in and see if there's any kind of correlation there. We're happy to look at that.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Sure. Any other questions on that page? Okay. All right, we'll move on.
Heather, Councilmember Gregory and council members, do you like seeing the report that way? I mean, is that more meaningful to you to kind of see it by department? Because before, I think we were all just we had fire, police, and then kind of everybody else. Do you find that level of information to be helpful?
Much more helpful.
Yeah,
for me.
I found it very helpful. It might be good to know more of a percentage or total number, both together, the percentage, so that we know that's 32 out of how many ever the whole number is, whether that's a percentage or what would be a full staff. But yeah, that's great information.
Yeah, I agree as well. I'm agreeing with the colleagues. That certainly is helpful.
All right, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
And then looking at the turnover numbers, this is the first slide shows just through July of each year. And so with the fire department there's been a decrease of 1.4% when you look at 2022 to this year. And then with the police department, there has been a slight increase of 2.17% from 2022 to 2023. And then on the non-sworn side, there's been a decrease of 8.23 from this time last year to this year.
Mm-hmm. They're pretty good numbers.
They're definitely moving in a better direction.
Mm-hmm.
The annual turnover, this would just be a projection through the end of the year based on what we've seen so far and based on historical information. The fire department is looking at 7.33 for an overall number. That's slightly up from last month, which was 6.14. And just a note in that number, that included one of the new recruits who dropped out of the class very early on in the process there. Police department is 12.94%, so that's down from last month, which was at 14.68. And then on the non-sworn side, 13.32% down from last month, which was 13.87%. So definitely trending in the right direction there. A recruitment update. Citywide hits have increased approximately 4% with total hits at 81,220. Citywide applications have increased approximately 21%, with total applications at 1,226. And then citywide postings have increased approximately 3%, with total postings now at 516 for the year. This is that conversion rate that we look at. Those are the people who, once they click on the position, they apply for it. So the average applications per posting have increased approximately 18% since last month. And then the conversion rate is up just a little, 0.2% since last month, going from 1.3 to 1.5. So not at the level we would like it, but going in the right direction. Any questions on that one? Right, and then that is it as far as information goes.
Heather, do you know if we did, I mean, it was a great jump, obviously, over the month. Did we do something different to make it? Do you know if there's something that you could put your finger on to say, yeah, we did this and made it get better?
Nothing that we've done necessarily in the last month. We have had a strong presence at career fairs. We've taken every opportunity we can to get out in an arena where you've got job applicants. We also participated in the West Rock career fair for their employees that will be losing their jobs and at the end of this month. Lindsay, anything else that you might want to add that I might have overlooked?
We've also been strategically working with different departments to look at their headcount as a whole and just trying to push the continued narrative of having managers review their openings in a timely manner. As we all know that applicants are not going to be just sitting. We need to make sure that they're being reviewed and moved along the process. So I think that supporting our departments and our managers to get these positions filled has helped tremendously as well.
Well, thank you. Is it, this may not even be possible in city government, I don't know, but is there a possibility of a referral fee for current employees working in a position to find somebody else?
So we do have that in place, and we've actually increased that. I think originally when we started that program, we had a referral fee of $100. Then we increased it to $150, and now it's $300. We've also tried to move up when that award is given. So it's given initially when the person comes on board, half of that. So the referring employee gets $150, and then it's given once they complete their 6-month introductory period. And we have seen an uptick definitely in the employees who have been referring people.
Great, thank you.
If there aren't any more questions for Heather, why don't we move to new business? Unless, Kay, did you have anything to add or?
No, sir. I think that's, for the staffing update, unless anyone has any questions, I think we'd probably like to move on to the healthcare budget because, this might take a little time.
Yes. And just for clarity, while we're going to go through the overview, we won't really do anything until after the executive session. Am I correct?
Yes, sir. That is correct.
Thank you.
So for item A under new business, we're going to go over the 2024 proposed healthcare budget, which is, all the numbers. And as we do every year, we're going to, I'm going to turn it over to Jolene Deans and let her go through these, and she'll share her screen with you. So we can go over it line item by line item. And after that, we will then go into executive session. So with that, Jolene, turning it over to you.
Jolene, I think you're on mute. All right, can you guys see the sharing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this year's healthcare budget is based on the city issued an RFP, And we selected Cigna, Delta Dental, and iMed to provide our health, dental, and vision benefits. And the biggest cost are our claims, as we're self-insured. So, and our estimates this year are calculated by Aon. As we switch over to a different provider, they have the ability to calculate our claims cost based on some actuarial analysis, their discount analysis, and based on that information, they've provided us these numbers that we're going to budget for our medical, dental, and rebates. And then the vision, we're fully insured, so that's a flat rate. But the medical costs, those include mature claims. They include, I increased those a little bit based on the number of participants that we have, as well as a small amount for to pay the run out claims to our old provider, or potentially old provider of Blue Cross Blue Shield. And then the one plan design change is where the generic copay for pharmacy will be reduced from $7.50 to $7. And then you can see the admin costs, which Cigna is giving us a $300,000 credit in our first year. And the stop loss fees are deferred, so we do not have those contracts for approval right now. So Aon will help us market that information in October and November. And then the HSA contributions are based on our estimate of our enrollees in the HSA plan. And, we eliminated the HRA, so we don't have any contributions. The flexible spending account is, we're estimating 500 people are going to enroll in the FSA accounts. And Cigna is going to be providing $100,000 of women and minority-owned business credit money. And so that will be covering our COBRA and our retiree administration. And then basically the rest of the items are very consistent to what we usually always budget for, except for the Incent Fit. The Incent Fit is our app that the city's using to reimburse employees for exercise and wellness based on how much exercise you do and based on getting your preventative health screenings. And so we've had some excellent participation in this program, and it's starting to get an uptick. So it seems like more and more people are using it, which is great because, we want all of our employees. The point of the incentive is to encourage our employees to exercise and to get their health screenings. So because of that, we're going to increase the budget for that from $210,000 to $250,000. So overall, it's a $560,000 decrease, which is about 2.3%. But when you look at it by enrollee, it's like a 5% because since HR has been hiring a good bit, we have more enrollees. So does anybody have any questions on the budget itself?
I do. Let me ask a question. Explain that's almost like a 50% discount in admin. So they explain how we get from 907 to 448.
Well, Cigna came in with a lower dollar amount per employee per month. And so their amount is lower, and a lot of their some of the things that we are paying for with Blue Cross Blue Shield were extra fees, and theirs was included in there. And then also you could see on the side they gave us a $300,000 credit for our first year. I
saw that. I mean, how can they do that?
Well, I think they're very interested in our business.
So this is for a yearly budget? I mean, was it?
The contract is a 1-year contract like we always do with 4 options to renew. And so, and I know in years 2 and 3, they also give us a credit as well.
So you got to scale out to for 3 years?
Well, the $300,000 is for this year. And some of the other details are in the contracts that you received in a separate cover.
And then the 100,000 in women and minority owned business amount. Can you,
They've offered, so the COBRA and the retiree administration, I think, is around $27,000. And then the remainder of that $100,000 part of it will be spent on enrollment for materials, and also then some wellness coaching.
okay. So this is kind of like apples by apples comparison. Others refuse to do it, or did they know to do it, or what? I mean,
Well, I mean, I don't know that everything they presented was apples to apples, but we believe that this is the best proposal that we got.
Listen, I understand that. And
And maybe we should go into executive session at this point.
okay, that's fine.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion to go in executive session, Mr.
I'll
Chairman.
second.
Moved and properly seconded. Can you put us in executive session, Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. And if I can, if you want to carry the vote on the executive session, then I'll put everyone into a breakout room.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.